This show is 110% Scottish, so if you think we're talking too fast, then make sure to slow it down with the playback speed button on whatever platform you're listening on. And last but not least, there's definitely offensive language featured, so if you're a minor or a pussy, switch off now.
Your favourite queens are back. It's another week of Wits the Goss. Hello, Oceanlea.
Hi, Bebe.
I say that as I was going to be a shock. Hello, Chloe. You're just going to have to give us a wave. Chloe is waving from the back. No, because we're going to tell you exactly what happened. Chloe will be getting a mic. We will be upgrading. As you can tell, well, I don't know if you can tell, but we've actually switched it out. We have a room in our house, right?
It used to just be our office.
It was just like office, and then we changed it to like more music studio vibe, so it was like vibing out hard. Loved it, but this studio thing was in like another part of the house. So now we've moved it here. It feels more cozy. I like it better.
I wonder if the sound will sound better as well. Because
Yeah, I think it will sound better.
Different setup in the room, much smaller room. Hopefully, it sounds nicer.
More padding.
We'll get.
Anyway, but yeah, last week was an actual disaster, guys. I'm not even joking. So we went to record the podcast. We actually did record the podcast.
Yeah, we recorded a great podcast.
Great
and we're
podcast
not going to swear
episode.
as per usual.
Yeah, we're not going to swear. Great podcast episode, but we were trying to do something new. So obviously Chloe's been on the podcast the last few weeks. Our gal has got the gossip going. Do you know what I mean? She's here to spill tea 24/7 basically. So we obviously were trying to figure out a microphone for her. So I was like, right, I've got this microphone that's sitting there, and I'm thinking, all right, we'll just use that then. It should be fine. Was it fuck fine? The camera kept on cutting out. The microphones were cutting out.
Our mics had a ring over the top of
This
it. It was just like
intense ringing noise. Couldn't even just like not put
horrendous. Chloe's mic picked up everything, including our dog snoring. Our dog's always beside us when we
He's
film.
always next to the camera, but
He's
you can't
so
hear
needy
them.
that he doesn't leave us alone, so we have to bring his bed. Yeah, so our dog's always beside us when we're recording. We tuck him into his little blanket and he has a nap because he was so needy otherwise. But so yeah, the Chloe's mic literally picked up him snoring for the entire episode.
So anyway, this week we have been, well, the last week there was pretty gossip going on. What were we talking about last week in the great episode that never made the air?
Goodness knows.
This would be like the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3 that never got casted. Do you know about that?
No? What?
No, right, I'll tell you about that. Right, okay. So, fuck the gossip from last week. That light behind me is playing with my ass.
How does your lighting look without it?
So if it's not cameras this week, it's fucking lights playing with her ass. Anyway, so I'll fill you
your
in.
ass. Happy Pride Month.
Speaking of playing with ass, happy Pride Month, guys. Happy Pride Month. Yeah, I'm so excited for Pride Month this month because I am participating.
There's actually quite a lot of Pride Month gossip to talk about. We'll get to that
the lure's
later.
deep. Oh.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But
Are
go
we going
for
to
it.
talk about?
We're talking about Fletcher as well. Everyone's leaving us.
No,
Well, not
literally.
even leaving us. I can't even say she's leaving us. It's really the Instagram that's bothered me the most. But anyway, we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to. I'll talk about this first and foremost. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, but you know, Real Housewives. They have the Real Housewives have a season that like a
Like a
franchise
girls'
of it that they
trip,
do. It's
yeah.
called Ultimate Girls Trip,
Uh-huh.
where like multiple different housewives, different franchises all come on, right? So there was a season 3 that happened where, was it season 3? It could be season 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But it could be either or. So basically, they went to Thailand, and it was Caroline. I can't remember her second name, but she's from Real Housewives of New Jersey. She's like OG New Jersey, like
Right.
OG, right? Her, Brandy Glanville. Yeah, Brandy Glanville. She went as well. And there was like a bunch of other girls there too, like Marisol, Phaedra, Vicky, what's her name again? Vicky something from the Real Housewives Orange County. Anyway, bunch of iconic ladies, but they've all went there and they ended up a massive lawsuit because allegedly Brandy was like making sexual advances and all that towards Caroline, apparently from Real Housewives in New Jersey. No, it's honestly scandalous. So it ended up in massive lawsuits, and that's how to this day it's never been aired. And apparently it was a pure great show. Like I seen an interview and it was Vicky, Phaedra, and somebody else. They were talking about it and they were saying like the big boss at Bravo was like this lady, and she said it was like a great season, but it never got aired because like it's so much shit happened and it all ended up in lawsuits. And then do you not remember the girl?
Is she not married to a man as well?
Who?
This Brandy person, like, is she not?
No, Brandy. Oh, she's going through it. No, Brandy's going through it, guys. It's actually, you know who Brandy Glanville is?
I don't know.
I'll post her up here, guys. Brandy Glanville is from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's like one of the iconic ones. You'll know who I'm talking about when I show you her. But she's going through it. So basically, ever since it's happened, she's been going downhill. So apparently, not downhill. Oh God, that's a bad picture of her. They've done her dirty with that one. Fucking hell. That's her, Brandy.
Oh yeah, of course,
So obviously she's
And she
stunning.
actually had a wild couple of seasons. Now that I remember,
Her face is fucked, guys. No, it's actually a fucking shame. So basically,
swear words.
oh,
Chloe, that was
well, you started the swear
Chloe.
words. They are.
Dad, if anyone hasn't been keeping up, we're
We're not
basically
swearing.
trying not to swear because our dad keeps on moaning at us for swearing.
And
on
we're
the
trying to be more
podcast.
intellectual
remember.
people. So yeah, basically what's happened is after she got cancelled, so whatever's happened with this stuff has happened on that season. of
On that
Ultimate
girls trip, that was
She's not been back on Bravo since. I don't think she could have maybe potentially made like a little appearance in
because I
somebody's
remember
party at Beverly
you
Hills.
putting on old seasons of this. And remember they went to
Or
that
she
big
was-
dinner.
she
and
was
she was
peak.
going mental during that dinner.
She's peaked, but then do you not remember there was a whole thing with her and Denise Richards that she kept on saying that her and Denise Richards had sex, and Denise Richards was like, "No, no, we did not. Like, we did not have sex," because Denise Richards obviously had a man. Her man was not about it. But like the way Brandy's saying it, Brandy's so nonchalant about it. She's like, "We did have sex." Like she kept on saying it right. So obviously that got her in whaling trouble because obviously you know how powerful Denise
Well,
Richards
Brandy,
is.
happy Pride Month, girl.
Bravo loves Happy Pride Month. No, but she actually done this song with this girl that from TikTok that I know called Bex. They've had like her, Bex, and this other guy. God, I'm really trying not to be disrespectful. Can't remember his name, but they all done a song together. But she's from like Sydney or Brisbane or something like that. But so cool. But yeah, her face is fucked, and it's filler that she apparently. Well, she was trying to say that it was a parasite or something like that, but. You know, the
Yeah,
doctor.
Chloe just showed us a picture.
You know the doctor from Botched, Terry DeBro.
Oh yeah.
So Terry DeBro came out because he was like, "What the hell?" But basically, I think she's broke, low key, not gonna lie. So I think not right now, but when this was all happening, when she first was getting really sick, it was really expensive. She couldn't, and he came out because also everyone's talking about it on the net, and he came out. And he was like, "Listen, Brandy, I'll reach out to you." He reached out to her, and he actually paid to do tests on her and do a blood test and this and next thing. And it wasn't a parasite or whatever she's saying it was. It was he wasn't saying it fully because he's still trying to like do HIPAA and all that and not break any violations. Talking about his patient,
Yeah.
but he was just saying it wasn't. It was a basically like backstreet filler that she's got done, and it's basically the fillers attacking her face.
No way, because it like not to be too rude here, but the picture Chloe just showed me, it did look like I thought it looked like she'd almost been burnt. That's what her face looked like.
Yeah, really bad. Bless her, and I feel terrible for her because she's not really been having a good time of it, and she's obviously not been getting obviously any work with Bravo. That
Yeah,
check's not
she's
been
lost
coming
her
in.
income as well.
She's lost the cash. So, God forbid to her. How did
And
they
obviously lawsuits as well. If that was how that season ended, like right at the end, your income stops, and then all of a sudden you've
would
got law
not want to
expenses.
be beefing with Caroline from Real Housewives of New Jersey. But she also like apparently like I think she was one allegedly that. Well, Teresa said it. We need to confirm with Teresa at one point. Fingers crossed we get Teresa on the podcast. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We
Love
get
you,
Teresa
Teresa.
Giudice on the podcast.
She's my favourite from New Housewives of New Jersey, so love her. So hopefully she's just a bit not crazy, but like good crazy. Do you know what I mean? Not in a bad crazy, like in wild crazy and free bitch. Like, but yeah, she had loads of beef with her as well, and I'm pretty sure on one of the reunions that Teresa was saying when Teresa went to jail that it was Caroline that was working with the FBI to digging in. But I don't know how necessarily true that was because she was flashing a lot of cash on Real Housewives of New Jersey, so I feel like probably watching
like you
the
were
show
on a reality TV show that showed your wealth.
and
I
your
think
first
that maybe gave you away.
first name, last name, and location that could have. But anyway, we're not talking about that. What other dramas have been happening this week?
Right.
Speaking of Pride Month,
Guys, I need to get stuff off my chest.
this is a
because
Pride gossip special because we've actually got loads of grey drama.
I'm not being funny, but I've actually had no one to talk to this about all week. So obviously, let's just touch upon Jojo Siwa and our hard launch relationship with Chris Hughes. I think there's plenty of reasons for people to feel a wee bit weird about it. I think first of all is the fact that it's so intense after knowing each other for like a month. For me, the most annoying part is this
It's given lesbian relationship, but one with a straight man. Do you know how intense that is? Like lesbians move in each other after a
yeah,
week.
but with a straight man, it's kind of random, isn't it? Actually, how that's happening. And the thing
But
is,
he does strike me as he is queer. Like he's giving camp.
he's certainly giving camp. Did anyone see the drag video of Chris Hughes this week?
Did he do drag? What, he actually done drag as a career, as a piss take, or what?
No, he done a video this week, like with someone done him up in drag, and you need to see this transition video. I'm
Jojo
sorry.
is using this man as a public humiliation ritual.
No, I actually like Chris Hughes as well, but this whole thing.
Oh my
Why
god.
does every
No,
man
did he
that
do
goes
the
in
fan?
drag?
Stop. Did he do the fan? We need to save this video so we can put this in. Did he do the fan? No. He's went from being happy to not happy. His balls are tucked and he is no longer laughing.
Do you know the funny thing is as well, right? I actually like Chris Hughes, but this whole thing's just annoying me because this whole Joelle thing, and this was what leads me on to Fletcher as well.
So is she actually getting called Joelle? But is this
Yeah.
for real? Is he
She's
calling her
going-
Joelle? Same
She's
phone number.
calling her Joelle, and everyone's calling her Joelle.
Has she
And they're all-
changed her Instagram name to Joelle?
Nah, I don't know if she's done that yet.
But what if she's changed? You know, you can not change the full username, but you change like it to something else in the bottom. Maybe she's changed it to Joelle.
No,
Jo-
and she had like a private. She launched like a second like private Instagram this TikTok this week. I seen it popped up on my For You page.
What a Joelle, Joelle
Well, she keeps
TikTok.
on. Everyone's calling her Joelle. This is a thing, Joelle.
No, I bet you any money I'm putting it on right now. She's 100% going to drop an album or drop a song called "I Am Joelle."
Right, probably. But do you know what else
That's
is
going to
annoying
be
me?
the "I Am Joelle"
So-
tour, and it's going to be her dressed in normal clothes. and all that,
Mrs.
no
Queen
bow.
of Gay Pop herself has posted nothing for Pride.
The inventor.
She's
of gay pop.
absolutely the inventor of gay pop has posted nothing for Gay Pride, which I would say is a pretty big day in the calendar for the inventor of gay
She did
pop.
post for Gay Pride. She got her straight boyfriend dressed up in drag.
Yeah.
Was she not performing at Pride events other night in London? That's when she was like standing at the side and she goes, she's singing,
Yeah, like you're
So,
obviously a
what's that
bloody
song called?
bisexual woman now, so keep posting the Pride.
what's that song called? Betty Davis.
He's got Chris,
Chris
Hughes
Hughes'
as
ass.
Oh. And then, guys, did I actually
gagged.
wait? Did I tell the podcast about my theory that she was going to go to a Sunderland game and then she sang on stage in a Sunderland top,
A diamond to Sunderland
a
top.
diamonted Sunderland top?
You should
guys,
put that in the
I've never,
south stand.
I have never felt so deeply offended.
You should
I
do the
am-
JoJo
I'm having
inspired.
nothing to do with her on my website. I'm not. I
Can't
actually,
be a hater. She's going to be at your games.
Well, do you want to know? Yeah, this is my worry. Do you want to? I'm actually going to show you a draft TikTok right there that I filmed before she went on Celebrity Big Brother. So bloody annoying. How did I even get into my drafts?
Listen.
I filmed two of them, right? Basically saying that I actually quite like Jojo Siwa
Right.
now. And
Stop talking and let the video talk for itself.
So a year ago, Jojo Siwa was like up to her neck in the karma phase, and she was easily the most annoying person on earth. But I've got to say, since she got this new girlfriend and just started posting more normal content, she's been a million times more likable. So I think this going on Celebrity Big Brother is going to be great for her. I think she'll go on just act not in that weird fucking karma's a bitch phase, and yeah, I reckon she'll go quite well.
so
Well, you
that
were
was
quite
what
wrong
I
about that,
never
'cause she ended
never
up-
posted right on TikTok. So just to prove the fact that I'm actually not a Jojo Siwa hater, but now it's just the way they're going on. It's this whole Joelle, the rebrand to Joelle, and that leads me into talking about
No, but
Fletcher.
before you talk about Fletcher, thingy, the two of them are on Snapchat 24/7. Why am I getting notifications for Chris Hughes on Snapchat? Why am I getting notifications for his post? Why am I getting notifications for Jojo Siwa's post? What partnership do they have with Snapchat to be posting this all the time? They'll be making a fortune off of. And I've even seen people on Facebook say, like, posting saying, I can't believe I'm like stalking Jojo Siwa and Chris Hughes on TikTok. So what's the beef? Like, but it's the same thing when Anna Paul was pure trending on TikTok as well. You've got that like going fucking crazy. The same way Anna Paul was beefing on TikTok too. She's all over Snapchat. It's pure pop, the up top one. Oh wait, hold on, Chloe's talking. Gonna talk.
No, I was just going to say I've actually found a list of Jojo Siwa's ex-partners. She has quite a few. And I've tend to notice that she's a real love bomber. Like in the within the first few months of relationship, she's like posting, "It's the happiest I've ever been," like blah, 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 blah. And then it all just comes tumbling down and it's a massive scandal. So how long do we see this relationship with Chris Hughes lasting?
Well,
Is it
our
true love?
birthdays at the
Is
end of
it
August,
true
so I'll
love?
say we're going into our new age without Chris and Jojo Siwa. I would say that.
So you're putting about
But about the
few
snap,
months?
yeah, a few months. But with the Snapchat thing on Max Belegde's podcast, Max Belegde, that's so funny that we even call him that 'cause that cannot be his name. Belegde is that video into it, but on his podcast he was saying that he got invited by Snapchat to like this Snapchat school thing, and they were Snapchat basically said that like they want people posting like 100 to 200 snaps a day on their story, and that's how they're all getting paid so much.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
creator
because Khloe
program.
Kardashian, she posts everything. I mean, she posts.
There is no
everything.
way that's her running.
It's like
account.
1,000 or 2,000.
There is
She posts all
no
Kim's
way.
posts. She posts all Kylie's posts. She posts everyone. She reposts everything.
Yeah, because they're trying to hit that 250 or something like that. I don't know, but it's on Maxie's podcast, so I heard it on there when I was watching. Oh, why is her name escape me? Who did I tell you I watched on her podcast the other day? The Catherine Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Catherine Ryan was on Max Spilling Day's podcast. That's who I watched it on. Anyway, she's really funny, so I just wanted to say that. She's Canadian, but she always works in the UK. She's lived in the UK for years. You would know her on like UK TV, 100%. Anyway, it was a good podcast if you want to listen to it.
Yeah, so that's literally the first bit of gossip we've got
And
for fucking
then
Pride gossip.
It leads me. Oh, sorry, I'm not even finished with my whole Jojo Siwa thing. So it's the rebrand to Joelle. It's the fact her mum's never been so vocal about a relationship until the first one with a man.
It's
It's the
given
fact that
homophobia.
all of our comments are now filled with women of like our mum's age or just like our age and older. All the most supportive they've ever been of our Jojo Siwa.
I knew it was just a phase.
Like every single person is in our comments like, this is so amazing, love to see you happy. I would have loved to have seen her happy. She never cheated on her partner in the process, guys. On national television, and then completely dropped her queer identity so far anyway, apart from when she's getting paid for it because they were already booked gigs, let's face it. That's
when
what
the
it
big,
is.
when the booked gigs are fucking coming in, she says, "Get the diamonds out, get the rainbow out. We have got some
Exactly.
money to make." No, that's when her. What's her mum called?
Oh, what's her name?
I
Don't
can't
know.
remember.
Mama Siwa, I would go with that.
We've got Mama Siwa. Mama Siwa comes out, and Mama Siwa's like, "Bitch, we better get the diamonds out," and that fucking hair scraped back.
I want to say,
I've got
is
some
it
money to make.
Jocelyn?
Jocelyn.
Is that right?
Oh, something like that.
It's given something like that.
Mama Siwa, but she sounds funny.
Anyway, right, and then
she's-
Fletcher. You guys don't know Fletcher, do you? You know who she is, right? So basically, Fletcher's been. Apparently, she's never said it, but she's very much alluded to the fact that she's been a lesbian for years. That is so strong. That's what her music's
queer
about.
baiting to the max.
Well, it's not even queer baiting because she like we'll get to that, right? It's not queer baiting, but basically she's flung herself into being a lesbian. These are all my lesbian relationships. Had relationships with like well-known lesbians that are like popular online and stuff,
Like
right? This girl called Shannon Beveridge, but you're not going to know her either, I don't think.
this is all a part of the lesbian community.
Yeah, but you're on the other side of the community. I think
Yeah.
you don't really keep up to them. Anyway, she's very well known, right, for all this. And then it's the exact same thing, right? So she's hard launched a relationship with a man, which in itself is fine, but it's the fact that she's deleted, I'll show you her Instagram, deleted all of her Instagram posts, bar like 5. All of them now rebranded to Carrie, the exact same as Jojo. She went from Fletcher and Jojo to Carrie and fucking Joelle.
Joelle.
She's dropped all of her like nothing to do with being basically queer on her fucking Instagram. Nothing to do with it.
She's straightening things up.
Yeah, she's complete. Like she looks like a little. Like, I don't know, like the perfect little country trad wife on her Instagram now.
Like, what are these men packing to be absolutely pounding the queer out them?
It's not like I get it. Like I actually know so many women as well that have ended up having relationships with men after identifying as a woman, as a lesbian for years, right? I get that. Like that in my real life, I know people like that. That's not the problem. It's the drop in your whole identity and everyone like that you've associated with for years.
It's giving fraudster.
Yeah, rebranding to these like, oh, sweet little girl, like more palatable names and more palatable outfits and all that. It just, the whole thing is bothering me with both of them. It's the whole rebrand shit they've got going on. It's bothering me so much.
The queer community is so accepting and uplifting and supportive. And then to see an icon who you've supported for so long just drop their queer identity.
Yeah, like she's literally got
It's
like
pissed
5.
me off.
It's pissed me off. She's got like 5 Instagram posts now, not one. They're all signed off Carrie. But do you know what? Whatever. Like
I reckon Jojo's gonna get a GQ magazine or some sort of magazine cover either with Chris or herself, and then Chris might be in like the spread in the magazine with her, but she's gonna be given like
femme
femme fatale to the max, like blow dry, big big, gorgeous, big Atlanta blow dry. She's going to be given
One
like
thing I will say,
bronze tan, acrylic nails on, like the most anti-lesbian nails you've ever seen in your life.
but one thing I will say about JoJo is on her TikTok and like on her appearances and stuff with Chris or just when they're out and about, she does seem to be dressing still the same. Like she's still giving like
Butch
lesbian, like not butch queen, just just a bit more gay. Do you know what I mean? Let's face it.
yeah.
She's still giving that an outfit, and he seems to love it. So actually, all fair to play to that. Like she doesn't seem to have dropped that part of her identity. I'm just saying that before Chris Hughes, every second word she spoke was about being a lesbian, and now, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Mickey Rourke. He's
Yeah.
what a prick, but he sniffed it right out there. Y'all just need some dick.
well, it's just, do you know what it is as well? It's seeing this climate to have these, like, that Mickey Rourke's fucking, his whole sentiment of you just need the right man is a sentiment carried by so many men and so many straight women as well.
Very much laid into
They
that
don't-
misogynistic trait. Like, come on,
they,
girl.
They all don't believe that lesbian or gay relationships can be real. They, like, it does feel
They're
a
not
little bit
valued
like,
on the same level.
yeah, so when these girls are like changing their public perception and changing their public identity to then align with these men, it feels like they're giving into that narrative. Whether they
honestly-
are or not is a different story, but it feels like they are.
But can you imagine being in a house with somebody for a month, flirting, doing all the rah, touching legs, stroking elbows, etc. for a month without actually getting on? You'd be shaking by the time you
Mate, I
came
think
out.
they were only in there for like 2 or 3 weeks. Come on.
I mean, even 2 or 3 weeks, only come on. Imagine it.
I'm sorry.
Imagine
right?
it. I'd
But
be
see,
fucking dead.
I
man.
know, but here's the thing, right? I've been in a
Imagine
relationship
you'd
with
be
Chloe for 4 years now, and
But
you've been,
imagine you never imagine take away the fact of the whole cheating thing that she'd obviously cheated on her partner. But imagine you're just you're a superstar. You've been into Big Brother. Oh, here's another superstar. You've just met her. Now you've got 3 weeks that
I've
you
just
have
been a
to
wee
sit there
tease.
of teasing, flirting, stroking of elbows. You would be actually shaking. Wet floor hangs out. Wet floor hangs. You'd be shaking like a leaf. She must have been like that. So she must have just came out and seen her ex-girlfriend. Right? I know we've already spoken about this weeks ago in the podcast, but she must have just came out, seen her girlfriend that was now going to be her ex and be like that. Oh, like just, I mean, head everywhere, thinking about Bobby. Do you know what I mean?
I just can't, like, I don't, our mind shouldn't even been available to let him in that way, but here we
Well,
are.
obviously was, and that's what happened.
I know,
But
here we are. We'll move on for that. I just wanted to get it off my chest because it really feels like they're
another-
ditching us.
yeah.
And it feels like they're
Lesbians are down 2 players.
it feels like they're ditching us in Trump's climate. It's really not
And Trump's
appropriate.
climate of all things. These
Yeah,
hoes are just wanting to
actually-
keep. These hoes are wanting to keep their passports. They don't want to be deported. That's what's
Yeah.
happening. No, and speaking of other queer news, icon, mother of queens, Trisha Paytas, she done the World Pride Festival at, what was it, Los Angeles? Was it LA? Was it LA? Slayed it. She's literally about to pop pregnant. She was giving it her all, and I'm not going to lie, everybody was gagging for it. The fans were fanning.
And the fact as well that she showed up and
We're
sang
the
"I Love You,
best.
Jesus" in the first song. It's
With a
so
Birkin,
funny.
with the rainbow Birkin bag coming out.
That is so funny. Joseph in these Technicolor Birkin.
But can you imagine, like, there must have been, there would have obviously been protesters there, like, who hate the gays, like, out the front, and they would have just heard the Jesus song.
I
and be
love
like,
you, Jesus.
oh my God, they're gonna do it, and then they just see them boom, and then literally some little old lady who's just been standing where a sign just donk on the floor. But good to her, and then she smashed it. Then in the UK they were doing, can't remember what city it was, but it was some Pride, and Katie Price was on stage. Did you see that?
I think Katie Price is performing at Butlands.
No, I feel terrible because everybody was commenting saying that TikTok at Oceanlea. So he just Katie Price Oceanlea at it's Portsmouth Pride. That's where she's at, and people were actually commenting saying like, "Oh my God!" Like obviously the gays were living for it in the video, but people were commenting saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe people paid for this. It was fucking free." So shut up. I'll post it on the video here so they can see it. She's singing A Whole New World. And then she also did sing her hit singles that she did 2 years ago. I can't not remember a single word from them. Yeah, that song there. Good for her. But it's actually a shame because she's obviously lost a lot of weight, which do know where that's from. She also is like in her late 40s. She could just be getting skinny from age. Like, let's be real here. but
Were all the
she
surgery.
obviously has 1500cc boobs. She had 2500cc. Bear in mind, I've got 570s. She's got 1500.
Oh my god, they must
And then
break her
you can
back.
obviously see that people are obviously commenting as well that she's had loads of butt filler and all that, which people have died from and all that in the UK, like getting that done. Fuck, there's another story about that in a minute actually. But she's like obviously still had done, so you can actually see like the butt filler.
I know.
Bless
I
her.
do.
But
I
you know what?
feel bad
Still
for her.
Kate Price stands. She's still an OG queen, and she is actually in her late 40s. She can do what the fuck she wants. I think people forget. Like, see if she was 25 years old and this was all happening, I'd be like, holy shit, man. Like,
I know it's just probably not as easier for her after those pictures went all over Twitter.
by the way, where do you think they definitely wear real butt?
I think no, they were 100%
Were
real.
they 100% real?
Yeah. I actually remember.
Kate Price is a sex worker. No, I don't think she is.
No, she's not a sex worker now.
No, she wasn't. No, she
No, she was on page 3
Katie
for
Price
years.
was
She was a
Jordan.
glamour
was
model.
the Jordan. She was #1 glamour model in the UK. Like, she was the
To
shit.
see in the UK, I don't even know if you know this, Chloe, but see in the
She
UK
was a Playboy
growing
bunny
up,
and all that as well.
I don't
She
know,
wasn't
she's a-
just.
was she a
Yeah, she
Playboy bunny?
was. She stayed with Hugh Hefner and all that, and then when she was in LA, at the no, she not.
Yeah,
but
like
she always
that's
talks-
what I mean. But
no,
she's it was glamour modeling, wasn't it?
I know the shit. I've got the info on Katie Price here. She was a glamour model, but see when she went to the Playboy Mansion, she was massive anyway. So it was actually like an honor for the Playboy Mansion to have her there. But she spoke about it. She's like, I've never done anything like that. She never actually stayed there. She just went to loads of the party. She was in Playboy. She would pictures with them and all that. Get paid loads of money. But at the same time, her mum was there, and she had Harvey when Harvey was just a baby boy, and her mum would be in the hotel just up the street with Harvey, and she'd go back to her hotel and all that. But you don't really know because Katie Price was the motherfucking shit. Like, see Peter Andre. Peter Andre was not what made Katie Price. Katie Price was the bomb.com back in the day. And then
When we were growing up, like,
and then she met him on I'm a Celebrity, and it was her that catapulted his career of being this actual thing.
in
like,
the UK at least, like might be different for you in Australia,
Katie,
but
but he only had one hit single. Nobody was giving a fuck about him.
I know. And then as well, like, do you actually know this? Like, see, growing up in the UK, seeing the newspaper, like the national newspaper, page 3 was a glamour model. Like, there was a picture of a woman in a bikini.
Every page 3 of the magazine, so every newspaper #3 would be tits
Actually,
out.
was her boobs out?
Yeah, it was.
It was actually full boobs out. Full
And then on, I'm
on
pretty
the
sure there was,
national newspaper page 3.
and there was one day a week that it would be full, whacked head to toe.
There's no way.
Aye.
Was that?
Aye, but not all girls. Like, she never done that, but Katie Price has done it, and then they her daughter's actually coming out with a TV show because her daughter's 18 now, and she's got like loads
She's
of brandy.
18 now. That's
No,
mad.
she's beautiful. You seen her?
No, I've not seen her recently.
Oh my
Show me
god,
her.
she's beautiful. So she's coming
Not
out with
princess, innit?
yeah, she's coming out with a TV show, but it's gonna have her dad and her stepmom in that in it, but Katie Price isn't gonna be in it at all. How beautiful she is.
Oh, she looks the same. I remember what she looks like.
She's so gorgeous. So she she's doing that, but bless Katie Price, hope she's alright, but at least she's getting that check from, I mean, it must be Portsmouth Council or something. It is Portsmouth Council must have paid for the price. It's the local councils that put on
There's
price.
just something so funny about that sentence.
Or is
saying,
it just like the
good
pride
honour
on
getting that Portsmouth Council check?
Portsmouth Council providing the checks for Miss Katie Price? Thank you. And that. What else has been happening at Pride Month? Oh, and then we had Miley Cyrus. She came out with
At Pride? Where?
well, she was performing at some sort of Pride. I don't actually know, but on the back to Jojo Sima. On the board, like on the big mega thing, it comes up this little pre-recorded thing, and I'll play it here so everyone can see like the thing. But she's talking about, oh, I'm coming out of the closet, happy Pride Month, like you do, you like basically obviously like a big hurrah to all the gays. Do you know what I mean? And then she's coming out of a cupboard. She's like, all right, I'm going back in the cupboard now, and hopefully I'll find Jojo Siwa. I gotta bring this girl back. Literally,
Nah, but Miley Cyrus has always been bisexual, though, she not? She's always been
no,
pretty
because
open about
apparently,
that.
Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato, they used to get it on back in the day.
Yeah.
They were lovers. But then apparently everybody says that Demi and Selena, they also were kicking it off too. But that's just alleged. That's just me, you know what I mean? Slanderous gossip. But not really slanderous
Slanderous
gossip. Good
gossip.
couple. They'd be gorgeous together.
They'd be gorgeous together.
Speaking of gorgeous, but fucking Justin Bieber, he's been on it this week too. Bless the guy.
Oh,
He is.
guys,
I
I'm
mean,
so worried.
I feel bad for him, but it's obviously you have to still keep a guy accountable. Like, he's a grown man and he's actually just really embarrassing his wife. I feel terrible for Hailey Bieber. We spoke about her last week. Oh, no! Oh my god!
Guys, we can recatch
We
up
can
about
catch
that.
up on it because it never
That's
happened.
what we spoke about. Road.
We spoke about Road last week. Hailey Bieber, $1 billion she sold that to Elf Beauty. I mean, that is crazy, isn't
I
it?
didn't even know Elf had that kind of money. To be honest.
Elf's getting money. About 200 million.
Yeah, that
she
makes
got
sense.
200 million. She get 200 million in Elf Beauty stocks, but Elf Cosmetics is the cosmetic brand, but Elf Beauty is like the parent company, so that owns Elf, this other brand that they bought as well, and now they own Rhode. So, I mean, good idea because Elf's everywhere. So I reckon everywhere, probably in the next year in Australia, you devils have like Elf and like no, is Elf in Priceline or in yeah, in Priceline. So I reckon you'll be able to get. I don't know. It'll either be, I don't know. It might actually be in Sephora because
It's in Sephora US, isn't it?
yeah, it's coming to Sephora US, or it is in it, or it's just came in, or it's coming. I'm not sure, but
But that might be
Either
like
or.
that's a pretty normal strategy as well to keep like your brand's price set
it's kinda good
differently. Do you
for
know what I
Elf,
mean?
'cause then
Like
he'll have because then they'll
because
have.
Sephora has a different customer base to Priceline.
Like you're never going to see
So-
Elf in Sephora. Do you know?
Do you know what I mean? So it's like it might be the case of that is in Sephora, but they'll never keep
No,
Elf
but Elf
in
got
Priceline.
big money like years ago. I remember when I was about 13, 14, right? When I was like just getting into makeup. And then like you could get Elf stuff. Most of it was like £1, £2, not £3, but nobody really like it was like very much like people knew it was cheap and brandy, but like I used to be obsessed with watching on YouTube videos Elf hauls because people would get loads of stuff from it because it was so cheap.
Yeah,
But it was actually Jeffree Star. He done when he was like his peak YouTube era.
yeah. Remember
done a
that
video-
Jeffree Star approved?
He done like a video about I can't remember what Elf product it was, but it literally blew up. And then like from then Elf's just been popping it. And then I think as well they must have like adapted like that pure concept of like duping all the pure expensive stuff too.
Yeah, so people know to go to them to get a cheap
So they
version
done
of.
that. And Emco Beauty as well, like that Australian brand. I'm pretty sure they just sold for $1 billion as well.
No way.
They would have so much money. They've smashed it. But I'm pretty sure Emco and was it Emco and and Co are different brands, but they're from the same company. And Co that used to be about years ago. No, Model and Co. Model and Co. Do you remember that? Model Co used to be version of Model Co. Yeah, I thought that, but crazy
I have no
anyway.
idea what you're talking
In the
about.
beauty world, but yeah, and then fucking what else was there we were talking about last week?
Just obviously Justin Bieber's post about her saying, "I never thought you'd make the what's it say? I never thought you'd make the cover of Vogue or something like that." And then
it's basically I'm just admitting he's an arsehole.
yeah, just him admitting that he hates his wife.
I mean, that is just terrible. Never say never.
Do you know what I always think as well, right? See with these celebrities, at what point do they become like that's just a norm? Like, oh, I can just say these things, and because if I said that to you, Chloe, you would literally just be like, "That
What the hell are you talking to?
Who are you talking to?" Like, do they not have the? I wonder if she turns around and goes, "I mean, who are you talking to?" Like,
You're never got to be sober, you fucking crackhead.
I know.
That's what
And
I'd say
now
back.
so
That's
he's
terrible,
admitted
but I'd say
publicly
that back.
he admitted that publicly he hates his wife, and then she goes on to sell a company for $1 billion and get on the cover of Vogue. I'd say it's a
Aye,
pretty
the space of
successful.
2 weeks.
I'd say it's a pretty successful FU back to him.
I know. And then people were commenting under it saying, oh, just because Selena had to be a worth $1 billion company, now Hailey has to do it. Listen,
Nah,
see if
listen,
my ex,
I
see if
think-
my man's ex is out here doing that, and that's the fuel that's fueling my fire to be have $1 billion company. Let the fire burn, bitch. I would be like that. Let's go. Imagine that. Like, mate, you're just trying to have your hair blonde because your boyfriend's ex had blonde hair. Like, she's wanting to get $1 billion company because her man's ex had $1 billion company too. Oh, with different categories for
Different
sure.
categories, I know.
For sure. And this week as well, Elon Musk, Trump, done. So
Oh, the boyfriends
the
have fell out.
romance is over, guys.
Not during Pride
During
Month.
Pride Month as well, I reckon Elon Musk is gonna literally bleach his hair blonde, turquoise, and all that, and then he's gonna dip at Pride Month. He's gonna dip a pure,
Well,
or he's gonna reconcile with his daughter.
he's been publicly like all the videos have him actually in the White House holding meetings. So
Oh wait, that's
all the meetings of him, like the videos of him in White House meetings and all that, genuinely off his head in a public office position. Obviously, he's now no longer in that position. He's been sacked.
But then he had that bruise in his face. So, and then literally days later, he's left that. He's now arguing with Trump. Do you think it was Trump that bopped him right in the mouth? Scott, he's one of the, is it Treasury, Department of Treasury or something?
What did they just punch him?
Apparently punched him, but he was trying to say it was Little X that punched him in the face.
Oh my god!
From his son. Oh, was it?
Trump's
Aye, but-
cancelling all the Tesla contracts after literally selling them
Not
on
just
the
the
lawn.
Tesla contracts, the SpaceX contracts, as in the spaceship that literally brought those astronauts home just a few weeks ago.
They've
that were
now
stuck there.
cancelled.
They've cancelled it all. But this is his thing.
I
This,
know.
I know that's the thing. Imagine this guy finds out we're talking about him's got to cancel our Wi-Fi. No, but that's the thing. Many people in the same as us, we never had any issue with Elon Musk before this. I would have bought a Tesla before this.
Yeah, but
I
then
would
he
have been
went
down-
on stage publicly
Then
lying
he
to the detriment of
literally-
people's lives. So
Listen went on. He's basically came on and said that he has been in like helping rig the election so that Trump would win.
he's financially rigged the election in terms
Financially
of like
rigged
he's
it.
paid for.
Never mind
so
the
many things.
technological advancements that this guy has. Like he literally has a spaceship company and a spaceship company, the Wi-Fi company, satellites.
He
and
bought a
cars.
social media company so
Social
that he
media
could post pure propaganda on it.
And now he's probably sitting there and he's phoned up the propaganda department and his propaganda department at X and said, cancel the propaganda against the Americans. We're not going to say that they're the worst and we'll say that everybody else is the best.
And
Because
now
he's literally just turned it around going,
he
that's a
said
bad
that
idea.
Trump's on the Epstein
He
files.
said he's on the Epstein files. So, I mean, what actually happens next?
I know, but
all
here's the
these-
thing as well. Like, I mean, I fully believe that he is on the Epstein files. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's took him that long. He rode and rode and
He
rode the
spoke
fact
for years
that he
saying
was
that
going to
Epstein
get
was a
them
good
released.
person.
Yeah, I know. Been pictured with him for years. He spoke for years about how he was going to release the files when he got in office, and then got in office, and then suddenly there was so many problems when it came to releasing the
What's
files.
happening with Ghislaine Maxwell? She just still in the jail.
What jail?
The
Did she
women
even
high
was
security.
a trial even concluded? Like, did that happen? Or are we still waiting on stuff happening for that? Surely we're.
It was a private hearing, wasn't it? But because who's in there? The Trump Meister.
Trumpmeister, exactly.
Big orange.
And then as well, they're actually now he's threatening they're trying to find ways to deport Elon Musk.
try to find ways to deport him. Basically,
Which I always found the irony in that anyway, the fact that he was so hard ass on immigration when he himself is an immigrant. His company relies heavily on immigrants. Like he did want to keep the H1 whatever blooming visa they're called to keep people in, and that was a serious point of why they were falling out as well, because Elon obviously wanted to go along with all Trump's policies except from the ones that affected Elon directly.
Exactly. And now it's came to the point where literally like LA is in pure riots because
Oh
they've
my
sent out the
God.
National Guard. The National Guard people are literally saying they don't even want to be there. And then, oh my God, this morning on 9 News, one of the 9 News correspondents literally got shot. Like in the video, the police are standing there and the National Guard are standing there and the army, whoever it was.
We'll play it on
here,
screen, but
and you
in
literally
Channel
see
9,
it. You see her, the guy turns around and just points at her and shoots her. Like that is
a
war
Channel
crimes.
9 journalist, like that, an Australian journalist has been shot by a rubber bullet in LA. That is crazy.
But then I was reading more into it, and then the last term that Trump had, there was Australian reporters that also who were there documenting the riots and this that next thing happened. They also got attacked as well. So this is just a fuss that's happened. It keeps on happening.
How can we be attacking journalists? And like that is, I actually can't. Who was away from the protest reporting on it for a national like it's Channel 9 News.
I just
She's
find
reporting it
crazy.
for Channel 9.
And then you know the Clark family, we were talking about them last week. This also in the episode that never aired. So the Clark family that are from the Gold Coast are these like massive TikTok family. There's 4 of them. There's 2 daughters, the mum and the dad, but the oldest daughter stayed in Australia. Her name's Letitia. Everybody will know who I'm talking about anyway. Like if you're in that world of TikTok or whatever. But they've just recently moved to LA, and I just find it just crazy. So obviously, like this must have been pre-planned for a long time. I can't just imagine they've just been able to. No, I can't just imagine they've just been able to just up certain fucking go to America. Like they've been planning this for years, well before probably Trump was even in office. So they've got there, but obviously it's like one of those things. It's like, oh, you want your favorite content creators and all that to speak out and all that about the bad shit that's going on, but it's actually scary. Like they've moved there for better opportunity for their work. They really don't want to be a part of the whole. Nobody wants to be dealing like you shouldn't need to think about an administration of a country when you're going there to travel or move there. You shouldn't have to. You should just know that this is we're in 2025 and people should feel safe.
the fact that
traveling
they've
the
got
world.
travel warnings for America, like I'm
Yeah,
sorry, it's
so
given third world
The
country.
fact that they've moved there, and I think it's like a thing that I've seen in their comments and all that too. Like they're in LA, they're posting these vlogs day to day. They're living their best lives, doing this next thing, finding their new home. It's all exciting, ratatata. But then up the street and a few posts down on the next post is literal riots because people's actual freedoms are getting taken away from them, and they're getting just people that have lived there for 50 years are getting just literally
Built full
handcuffed. Built
families.
up full families are getting lifted handcuffed out the place. Like, and then on the same point, there's this like rich Australian
Family.
family that are there just like thinking
Vlogging and having
understand.
fun.
We love America. It's been so good now that right, which is like fair enough, because they should be allowed to do that. Like, you should be allowed to go there and enjoy it. But right now, this administration, all that is just pure causing this pure divided world that doesn't need to happen.
And
It
never
shouldn't
mind
be
them,
happening.
never mind the numerous people they've deported
And no one
that have went missing and or haven't been contactable in these El
Exactly.
Salvador prisons that are fully American citizens and shouldn't be getting deported
But
in
then
the
that's
first
the thing
place
as well.
because they've got apparent gang links for having tattoos.
It's crazy. And then the fact as well that then obviously there is this kind of like underlying thing of, well, for example, just like the Clark family who are in America doing X, Y, and Z, why are they not speaking up about the fact of they are doing that? But there is all this conflict going on in America with the administration. But also, people must be like, you'd be terrified. You'd see if you, especially if you have a platform that big, they're going to talk about something. It's got to go viral. It's going to be in all the news outlets. Everybody's got to be talking about it.
I would
Then
be
before
scared.
you know it, it's on Trump's desk and he's going, ha, you're talking about me, you've just moved to my country. Out you go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would be scared. And as well, like, I understand the importance of people having to talk about these issues, but it is a lot to ask people to be fully clued up on stuff as well that are
And-
just social media influencers. Like, I understand we need to talk about it. Like, we're sitting talking just now, but we're not clued up on every single nuance on this. They genuinely might not be as well. So
And
to ask him to make
what I
a
was gonna
meaningful
say is
difference
as
by
well-
speaking about it, it's probably a big expectation.
Exactly, and the fact of so Kat is Filipino. She's have Filipino heritage, so she obviously does, like, she's not white and white and right is what the fucking Trump administration would say. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that a family of color that concerns me because her daughter's young. But obviously, it's like, right, okay, they're going to be protected of that. But the thing that does mostly concern me is the dad has already been posting. They've only been there for about 2 weeks. Dad's already posted some videos saying that people have been coming up to him while he's been in LA and immediately talking Spanish to him. This next thing, because they think he's a Mexican, which isn't even something you should be hanging about. It's going, right, people are getting targeted just from literally the way they look. ICE are just walking past people, detaining people and chucking them back in just to meet quota. It's not about what they're doing. It's literally to meet a target because it's been up ramped. We need this many people getting deported.
Yeah.
So what, like, no, hopefully it doesn't, and thinking that happen, but that is happening to people. So how's it to say that it's not going to happen to one of them? Like,
Or it's like they at least get in a position where people do mistake them for someone for looking a certain way or whatever it might be. Like, it's a
Exactly.
worrying
and
thing.
that's crazy that of all places in 2025, LA, Los Angeles of America, literally, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry that actually gives preferred world country. The fact that we've got travel warnings to about going on holiday to America, like, come on, that's not. I can't believe we even talk about that in 2025.
but then people were asking. Somebody asked, like, what was it? One of the reporters asked Trump a question in the office, and they were saying about what happens if Russia, like, bombs X, Y, and Z with Ukraine, and Trump just like turns around, he's like, "What happens if a bomb just drops on your head right now?" And I'm like, "How is this actually? How is it like?" When we were growing up, we used to think and like look at like the United States, right? So see, when we were younger, right? My stepdad is all for our whole life, right? My stepdad and my mum have been together literally since brain thoughts even occurred, right? He every year would be sometimes multiple times a year, go flying back and forth to America, to San Diego, a lot of these places where these riots not are happening right now. And there was a point when we were like 12, 13 years old where he had the opportunity for us to move to America to do this, and it was like this whole thing talking about did it. Never happened, right? Because my dad was gonna we have like split periods, so my dad no, it was just never going to happen. Didn't happen, but it was a thought process, and it's like, like imagine
nah.
right now that actually being our lives. Like,
No way.
I feel
No
terrible because
way.
it's like we grew up thinking like we used to
Well,
think, oh, that would have
yeah.
been so cool for us to go and do that.
The
We
president
used
of
to dream
America
that.
used to be quite important, like, person that you would respect and look up to.
And you would always be like, oh, that's the
Never
person that's
now.
going to keep everything safe. Man, I would not feel anywhere safe being anywhere near that person. Thank you. Next.
way.
No thank. And that, it's just like, what is it actual? What's the beef? What is like, there's so many other things, like, you know what I mean? There's so many ways to prosper. And I just think this actual propaganda and all this, the like hate on communities and that is actually insane.
And the thing is,
The
it's
fact
not a
of
new.
talking about trans people
It's
and that
not a
all
new
the time,
propaganda though. It's not a new propaganda.
always in the midst
The
of-
trans argument isn't a new propaganda as well. These things always happen during the time where we're going to go through recessions and all that kind of stuff. Always,
These
always.
peop- segregation. Like, he was, yeah, he was alive during segregation, and it's like, how does that even come into play? Like, how does this, like, this shouldn't be happening in the world? That's what
I
I
know.
think. It just shouldn't be happening. The fact that people still believe it, like, people actually still believe it. Like, in Melbourne, just last week or the week before, there was a group of guys, group of white pure radicalists that literally in the middle at 3 o'clock in the morning were outside a shopping centre with a big massive banner and it said like stop the N word, get like basically get rid of black people and all that. It was
Is that?
horrific. Yeah, it was
I missed
horrific.
that.
Like a pure KKK stance.
That's so bad. Yeah. But just so what they what's just so they could get a viral post or something. That's what they were wanting,
No.
basically.
Part of a white supremacist group. Like pure KKK, but make it Australian. It's actually
And it's
bush.
and it's not even like it's not even just America. Like these rhetorics then start spreading. Like the UK is quite bad for it.
So the next time you're with somebody, guys, and you're near somebody, or I mean, fingers crossed, it doesn't need to be like that. But if you are near somebody that's trying to go, oh, why is Pride Month still happening? Why is Pride Month this, that, and the next thing happening? Babe, this is why it's still happening. There still needs to be folk talking about it all the time, and it shouldn't even be like. It sometimes cringes me out that we have to sit and talk about it like that because like it shouldn't be like that. It should. Do you know what? There should be no issue of thinking. You shouldn't give a fuck. That's what it is. Sorry, that's you shouldn't actually give a fuck that much about other people in life. We need to be more selfish. We need to think more about ourselves. We need to stop worrying what other people are doing with themselves, how the fuck they live their life. If folk think it actually it blows my mind. Why do you care?
I know.
Why do you give a fuck?
I've got too much happening in my life
And
to
I
worry
seen
too much about
there was
them.
like, even videos, even to like the instance of people's day-to-day lives. I've seen this video on TikTok. It was this girl saying, I agree with what's happening because in Los Angeles, I'm gonna go. This girl, she's just finished high school. She's applying. She's about to start applying to go to university, right? And she's discussing the fact of, yeah, I'm gonna apply to go to med school, but right now with all these international students, talk about X, Y, Z, basically talking about all these other people that are immigrants that are in the uni. It's basically going to stop her from getting a chance. She's not even applied for it yet to even have that feeling in her soul. She's preempting the thought of immigration as the problem. Bitch, you're a dumb ass. No shade to the girl. She's got to do medical. Her lip filler was bang. She looks like she went to the same place that Brandy Glanville went. Straight up.
Never mind the fact she's making these videos and posting them on the internet
Why does it
before
have anything to
applying,
do with
as if
you?
they're not going to know that you're posting stuff like
It's
that
the
on
same-
the internet.
It's the same conversation we talk about with Australians. Some not all Australians, but this minority of people that will go immigrants in Australia. Right? It's going right. So crazy behaviour to even be thinking like that anyway. But see, like for example, agriculture. Ocean used to work on the farm for years.
Yeah.
See the farm. See the Australian farming industry. All the fruit and
Completely
vegetable,
relies on
all that
immigration.
stuff all relies on immigration, specifically working holiday visas. So those people that you're slagging off that are here for 1 year, 2 years,
Physically
whatever,
put food on your
they
table.
physically are the reason that that's happened. Like when during COVID, when there was no more immigrants coming into the country to do work,
Farmers stuck up for us.
like the farmers were literally going crazy about it because they were like, we can't get any of this stuff packed,
Guys,
and propped
bearing in
enough.
mind, 95% of Queensland's agricultural workforce is made up by immigrants. 95%, and that's one state.
The second biggest contributing industry to the economy in Australia is visas and student visas, paying fees, and universities paying fees to the government for their visas. All that stuff, so see if you didn't have that stuff in Australia, like the shit would be well more expensive. We
And
would
when
not
you
have
ask
the
someone
life that
who's-
you have. Things wouldn't be built up. Roads
When
wouldn't
you-
be as good. Like
When you ask someone as well who will be opposed to like immigration and all this kind of stuff, what their problem is, they'll say immigration and then they always lead on to a different topic. So they'll go on to like, I can't buy a house. You can't buy a house because your government allows all these other regulations that make house prices in Australia probably, I'm pretty sure it is the world's most expensive housing. Yeah, because we're white, so it's fine.
Literally.
And I get told, yeah, oh, you've got such a nice accent. Oh, thank you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them
Or even
ones.
for example as well, when I was in Sydney last week or 2 weeks ago, the taxi driver, I was talking to him and he was like the Uber driver, he was Indian, right? And he was saying like, oh, I don't even know how we even started the conversation, but he was like saying that he works 12 hours a day or whatever doing Uber to pay for these student visa, to pay for these fees because it's like mega expensive. And I was saying, oh, I used to go to I was on a student visa when I first moved to Australia as well, like, and it cost a fortune. Like, I know, I understand, but he was doing like literally like some sort of crazy computing thing that cost like 100 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
And he is just working every day, morning to night, going home, studying, waking up next morning, working, studying. Working
Tell me
with
that's
women.
not an effective
Tell me
contributor
that's
to
somebody
society.
that's exactly for the colour of their skin. Fuck off.
Yeah, like it is so frustrating as well.
Pride
Although-
Month's not just about the gays, guys. It's about absolutely everyone.
It's
in
just about
between.
everyone who's in a minority, really, because like when you're talking about as well, like all these immigrants, but then when they need hospital care, they'll be in a full wing of people who might not be from this country, or the doctor might not be from this country. They'll accept immigration
Although
then because it
prime
matters.
example, we talk about emergency departments being booked out, hospitals not having it, the people there not having enough doctors, nurses, and all that. The rate of Australians and even just the rate of white countries, literally, of
The
these
same
people
for the UK.
going to, the same in the UK, going to these people going to university to become studying and to put the effort in to do that doesn't happen. But a lot of Middle Eastern people, a lot of Asian people who are actually putting in the work, because that is what they've been taught today. That is how they've had to get by in life because of the problem of fucking what's it called?
Colonization.
Colonization and like discrimination.
Yeah, discrimination.
Anyway, guys, that's us wrapping up the episode for today. We
That
really,
really
fucked
took
this
a
up.
tangent,
Happy
but-
Pride Month, bitches. Happy Pride Month. Support your gays. Buy your gays a drink. Buy your gays a shot. Buy phone your queer friend. Tell them they're a sexy bitch. Tell them you love them. If you don't have any queer friends, then you are a homophobe. I'm sorry at that point. Love y'all. Have a great weekend. Subscribe.
Bye, everybody.
Mwah.
Mwah.